What's up, everybody? Welcome to Indie Comics Review. This is the show where every week I review 3 indie comic books. If that's the kind of content that you find interesting, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also, there's a link down below to my Alternative City shop where I sell t-shirts, buttons, magnets, stickers, all kinds of other cool stuff that I make, and everything helps to support this channel. So let's get started right away with the first book, which is Nature's Labyrinth, #1. It's written by Zach Thompson, illustrated by Bailey Underwood, and it is published by Mad Cave Comics. In the middle of the ocean lies a remote island complex, lined with traps and an ever-changing landscape. Created by a mysterious man known only as Ahab, the island was designed to test the wills of the world's most notorious criminals. In a battle royale-style game, 8 violent felons will fight for survival and to the death over the course of 3 days of relentless action. The winner receives a wealth or riches and complete anonymity, but at the cost of keeping their silence about the island's existence. What Ahab doesn't know is that someone is on to him. Someone has infiltrated his island with the intention of revealing the truth about his twisted game. Nature's Labyrinth is an all-new 6-issue miniseries from writer Zach Thompson, Yondu, brother of all men, Undone by Blood, and Bailey Underwood. Now, Nature's Labyrinth is the first of 2 books this week that is heavily inspired by anime and manga. Nature's Labyrinth is, it begins where, when they find these criminals, or they send out these random notes to criminals, hey, you just won a sweepstakes, come on down to the police station and pick it up. They pulled the same thing, except this time they pulled it with, it's on maybe 200 or 230, I think it was, of these invitations, all to notorious criminals, and only 8 of them somehow showed up. So these 8 are aboard this luxury liner, and they think they're going off to some luxurious vacation spot. But when in fact the captain spills the bean to them that, guess what? You're gonna be fighting for your lives, and I'm out of here. So after that happens, all hell breaks loose. People start turning against each other, and eventually you see that this place is just one giant maze. And not only that, but it's ever-changing. And there's some kind of a sick, twisted game that this Captain Ahab, who runs the place, is playing with everyone's lives. Nature's Labyrinth reads very much like I'm watching an anime. I know it's manga-inspired, but I really feel an animated kind of a feel to it as I'm reading it. And I can see the expressions and the close-ups, and certain panels would just be close-up scenes, and it really would translate to the screen very well. And then there's a preview of a book called Dahlia in the Dark in the back of the book. That looks pretty interesting. Like it might be maybe a werewolf story or something like that. So that's another bonus for this book. Yeah, this is I'm not anyone who watches the channel knows that by any means an expert on manga or anime, but the inspiration for this is very clear, and it's done very well. I think I'll probably check back and see what's happening with the second issue of this book, because it's pretty entertaining, the art's good, and I want to see what's happening with this whole changeable island thing. So yeah, Nature's Labyrinth #1, pretty good. Next is Samurai Doggy #1, and this is written by Chris Tex and illustrated by Santos, and it is on Aftershock Comics. During the 4th War of the Sun, a small dog named Doggy experienced an irreparable trauma. His mother was brutally murdered, and his 8 brothers, still puppies, were kidnapped by a mysterious man. To save them, Doggy fought bravely against the terrible killer, but all his efforts were in vain. He was left for dead. What nobody imagined was that a technological vulture scavenging the region for corpses would be the one to rescue this dying dog from death's scythe. Now, Doggy has become Samurai Doggy, and his only goal is to quench his thirst for revenge. Written by Chris Tex, Blackout, and illustrated by Santos, Land of the Living Gods, and Blackout, Night Shift, Samurai Doggy is a story of loss, revenge, and the journey to defeat the greatest empire of machines and robots that has ever existed. So here's another well-done manga, anime-inspired book that I just kind of picked up on a whim, because I kind of have a thing for anamorphic animals. Hey, when you draw a character named Ninja Bunny Assassin, you can't be mad at someone named Samurai Doggy. But this book is dope. This book has such great action sequences. Oh my God. The use of, I was talking about would make a great anime, a great some sort of screen project. This book really would translate so well to the screen, and it looks great in book form as well. The character design is great. The world building is fantastic. If you're an animal lover, the first couple of pages are just tough to watch. The dogs are slaughtered. Somehow this little puppy is like stabbed and shot, and he's picked up by this mechanical vulture and somehow revived. And not only that, he grows up to be this big, tall samurai who wears this consistent bandages and a kerchief over his mouth that makes him look, really badass. It shows that Chris Tex is involved in film. He's a director. It's a very cinematic look to this comic book. Him and Santos really did a great job putting that across in this comic. I can't stress enough how surprised I was and how pleasantly surprised I was of how good this book was. I mean, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, the whole samurai doggy thing, but make no mistake about it, this is good work. This is well done. And I think it's at least probably 2 more issues of this out right now. Something I ordered a while back, only from my comic shop. I didn't order from my LCS, so I didn't get a chance to read it when it first came out. But man, you can't read everything, but I try to get around to it eventually. So man, I recommend that you at least try this first issue of number 1, especially if you're a fan of manga and anime. But even if you're not, I think this is an entertaining book. Plot's not super deep, but the world building, the action scenes, just the way that it's all presented together is just worth the price of the book. Yeah, check this out, Samurai Doggy number 1. It's a good comic. Next is Hell to Pay number 1. It's written by Charles Soule and drawn by Will Silney, and it is from Image Comics. The Shrouded College will give you magic, but you will incur a debt. Until it's paid, you belong to them. Married couple Maya and Sebastian Stone took that deal. They have worked for the college ever since, using their new abilities to track down 666 cursed coins, Quarak, aka the Devil's Dollar. Only a few remain. The stones are almost free, but the devil's in the details. Hellboy meets Indiana Jones in this supernatural adventure from Charles Soule, 8 Billion Genies, Undiscovered Country, and Will Silney, Spider-Man. So yeah, Hell to Pay, this is probably the book with the best story of the week for me. The first 2 books were really nice as far as a presentation goes, artwork goes, and pacing. Hell to Pay has probably got the best concept of the books that I've reviewed this week. It begins in a castle in Ireland. There's this billionaire who's just trying to romance this woman. I mean, he's a billionaire. He's got everything, and he's still got to prove himself, to get lucky. Okay, so she's like, hey, she's dropping Elon Musk's name and everything. Like, yeah, you ain't all that, And she's like, show me something special. So, and the thing about it, she knows what she's after because she's there for a purpose. She's just not trying to find a rich sugar daddy. So the dude eventually just says, like, look, how about this? How about I tell you this? Hell is real. And not only that, it's a place, nothing to do with religion, but it's a place where these beings live and they have a currency. And I have some of that currency. And that currency can be used to do all kinds of powerful things to control demons. And every time that currency is used, there's a major occurrence in the world. So this is all she wants to hear because her husband is waiting outside to just ambush this guy and take said currency away from him. See, Maya and her husband had made this deal before with this shadowy figure who wears a veil, and they'd incurred great injury. And after they made this deal, their injuries were just fixed. But now you owe us. Now you got to collect these coins. There's 666 of them in the world, and they're almost down to the last couple, and they think that this is the guy that right here is going to be safe. They think that they'll be able to just be out of debt to this dark entity known as the Shrouded College. But like they said, there's always a catch when you trust these people. So there's something that comes up that they weren't expecting. And the thing about this story, they say it's this is going to be, I believe, a 6-issue limited series, and there are going to be 7 different arcs. They're going to have other characters, not just the Stones, be the major characters in these stories. So it's going to be this is just the first arc, and we'll see what happens with these folks, and then there'll be some endless, I guess, stories coming forth. They've already got this planned out. So this sounds like it might be pretty fascinating, because with all these different arcs and with all these different characters, this story could probably be going on for quite some time. So Charles Soule is at work again, crafting these magical worlds that he's so good at, like 8 billion genies, and to a lesser degree, I think, in the Undiscovered Country. But this one has, I think, a lot of potential. You really get to know a lot about these characters. There's this kind of humor there is. There's this kind of family kind of a feel, because there's a situation developing with them to save their family. So yeah, I think this has a lot of potential. This is going to be, dare I say, maybe another hit for Charles Soule. So yeah, and with the whole Shrouded College thing here, this is it gives me kind of a Something is Killing the Children kind of a vibe, as far as the secret society, and so much you can just get into with just that. So there's more characters you can bring in just from the Shrouded College that could be its own spinoff. From who knows, But so far, so good for this book. I'm really excited for it. At first, I was thinking that maybe it would just be. I was kind of dismissive as far as it being similar to Silver Coin, but it's so much more complex than Silver Coin. Silver Coin is a nice concept with the continuing object, with the found object, the continuing story about following that one coin. But this is more about not just a single coin and its journey. This is more about just everything surrounding the Dark College, or the Shrouded College, and these people and their indebtedness to the Shrouded College, and the fact that hell is in fact real and it has a currency. So yeah, I'm down with it. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in the next issue. This week's Artist Alley is called Theseus, Volume 1, and it's written and illustrated by Jordan Holt. I believe he crowdfunded this on Kickstarter, the original volume that I have. It says on the back here, Theseus is known for killing the Minotaur, clearing Greece of bandits, and serving as the first great king of Athens. His myth has been retold and rewritten time and time again for 3,000 years. Behind that grand myth is a true story that's never been told. This is most certainly not it. This is the definitely inaccurate story behind the myth. And that's just kind of a tip of the iceberg to the genius writing and to the wry wit of Jordan Holt. I was a lover of Greek mythology when I was a child. I used to love all that Mount Olympus stuff. So Theseus is kind of nostalgic for me. It kind of harkens back to a time when I found, before I discovered even superheroes, when I was a little kid, like, oh wow, these gods had names and had powers and stuff like that. So it kind of piqued my interest in comics, actually. It's a great idea to have a character who's in the public domain, and that way all you got to do is come up with your own story. You've got the character, you've got a lot of other peripheral characters, and you got basically a story in many cases, but you can tell your version of it. And that's what Jordan does here. Jordan Holt has really crafted this thing. He's taken a journey that everyone has read about in literature, and he's made it his own. He's turned this journey into like, what if Theseus was just this, this smart-aleck teenager who was like, told by his mother, hey, this is your destiny, and like it or not, you gotta lift this rock every year on your birthday until you lift it, you're gonna keep coming back and trying to lift it again because that's what they say is, and that's the myth, and hey, you got to do it because it's a tradition, right? And the way that he executes this is pretty hilarious at times. Now, Theseus was well funded on Kickstarter. Good for him, and that's an accomplishment right there. But this is such a great idea, it's not surprising that it was more than well funded. And he did not skimp on the production value. This is a beautiful looking book. Thank you so much for sending me this beautiful copy, signed and everything. This is hardcover. The colors are phenomenal. This book is so well produced. I've had some very nice looking comics sent to me for the Artist Alley segment, and this has got to be not the best, one of the best for sure comic projects I've seen that I've had the privilege to review. This is a book that you could actually not just let your kid read, you could read with your kid or to your kid. And it's entertaining as an adult too, because like I said, the humor is there. The art is there. The journey is there. It's kind of if there was ever a good bedtime book for kids, I would say this would be it. And also a book that folks who don't have kids can enjoy too, who are comic fans or who are fans of Greek mythology. Unfortunately, there's another Kickstarter available right now that's active right now. I think there's like 6 or 8 days left, and it's funded. But hey, you can never have enough funding. So I'll leave a link below to Volume 2 of Theseus. So anyone that is interested can just jump on right now and get Volume 2. They can order Volume 2 at least. And I think maybe you can figure out a way to get a copy of Volume 1 if there's any left. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm sure getting Volume 2, you can jump right in. If you don't get Volume 1, this is an enjoyable book, folks. This is one of the best looking things I've seen in some time. And congrats, Jordan. This is a very, very nice looking book. Theseus Volume 1. Volume 2 right now is being funded on Kickstarter. Definitely check it out, folks. It is worth it. So that's it for this Indie Comics review. Lots of good stuff this week. A really great Artist Alley book. Life is good when you're reading comics. So until next time, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn notifications on if you want to know when I'm making my next video. So until next time, see you guys in the funny papers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up.